Ladies and gentlemen, I am StooDogg. Recently, a YouTuber by the name of Juanpa Zurita interviewed Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of YouTube. Today, I am presenting this interview to you in my usual form of reaction commentary. Any supporting links will be in the description box down below, as well as the link to the original interview if you want to go and watch it. I have essentially edited out the parts that I would like to address for this video. Anyway, let's get on with the show.
Susan! Hi! Oh my god! Such a pleasure to finally meet you!
Whilst his content isn't really my cup of tea, I must admit that Juanpa Zurita seems to be quite a likeable and pleasant man.
Peace and love. So guys, this is Susan over here. Susan is the CEO of YouTube since 2014.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here.
First question is your last name. We spoke about this behind the scenes and I still want to be able to know if I nail it.
Okay.
Susan Wojcicki.
That's good.
Fantastic. Wojcicki.
Great job, but I respond to all versions.
Wojcicki, so I have been pronouncing it correctly all these years.
Susan was available so that I could ask her questions about anything that I wanted about the platform. And being a CEO of this company, she has access to a lot of information. So today we're gonna be able to see the company through the eyes of someone that has been in it for the past couple of years. She was in Google for 20 years, then she jumped into YouTube. I wanna say thank you for being here. I think as a platform, it's super cool that you guys are doing this, that we're able to connect, they're able to have a talk, and hopefully it's helpful for creators out there too.
I would agree that it's good to see the CEO being interviewed by YouTubers, being interviewed by the press and having her words spun, not so much, but it strikes me that the YouTubers on the platform are not as political as the mainstream media and the press seem to be.
So I talked to the Latin community of creators. We have a chat where I shared that I was going to interview you. First of all, they were all very excited. I've recollected most of their questions. Let's do this.
I'm open to any question you want to ask me.
What is your favorite color?
That's not what I expected the first question would be. It's blue.
Blue, me too.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Quite a random question. That's not one that I would have expected, but I guess it's a way to make her feel at ease and work your way into an interview.
I think one of the biggest things on YouTube is the algorithm. Is it mathematical, meaning it's completely independent, or is there any type of filter on the videos that the algorithm picks?
It's complicated. The algorithm that we have tries to predict what videos will any user want to see. We look at the history of videos that they have subscribed to, or videos that the user has watched or told us that they didn't like.
So here's one that goes alongside the old dislikes don't do anything, dislikes are a useless statistic, and dislikes are just engagement sort of thing. Apparently dislikes do affect videos by not recommending them to you again in the future. This was also said by the YouTube Twitter bot. So she seems to be confirming what the Twitter bot said recently, that dislikes affect videos that are being recommended to you.
We include all of that information and we build a prediction model of what is most likely to work for any user. Recently, especially in the last 2 years, have spent a lot of time working to make sure that we're also bringing the right information. If you're just engaging with music or funny videos or videos about cats or whatever, it doesn't really matter which cat video you see.
Very good
right.
videos.
The algorithm takes into consideration so many different factors, from what's most likely to be successful for any user coming to the platform. Is it an informational query?
Oh my god, how do I tie this damn thing around my neck?
And if so, how do we make sure we have the best information for them?
There's never, at the end, a human making sure that should be on trendy or shouldn't be on trendy.
Whenever you go to your home feed or you're watching a video and you see videos are recommended next to you, all of that is algorithmic. We're looking at billions and billions of data points to try to figure out what's the right set of videos to show. We have over 2 billion people who come to YouTube every single month.
2 billion unique users access YouTube every month. So as a bit of supporting information on the side of that, the current population of the world 2019 is 7.7 billion. So that's it's about a quarter of the world's population access YouTube every month.
We also have 500 hours uploaded every minute. And so there's no way that we could have any kind of people involved. Everything is done algorithmically and with machine learning. Better and better prediction models of what we think people want to see.
And I think there has been improvement.
So trending is a different
algorithm
category. Trending is a place where we do have an algorithm. There are different ingredients that go into the trending tab. The goal of the trending tab was for people who don't know YouTube really to be able to discover what is popular on YouTube. But then once our algorithms determine the content that's there, we also have people look at it to review it because
so trendy has humans recommended.
We just do a human check to make sure that the content that's there makes sense to be on the trending page and available for everyone.
I'm not sure how to feel about this one. It's a double-edged sword. You see, up front, a lot of people would think that this sounds like the trending tab is being physically manipulated by YouTube to only show what they want it to show. If a person that they don't like pops up, they can easily toss them aside. However, such human moderation also prevents silly things like suicide forests and Elsagate videos from popping up as well.
Makes sense?
It makes total sense.
Okay.
And it's fantastic. Second question is, as creators, there's a little bit of a confusion of what exactly are the blacklisted words. Is there a way that those could be handed to the creators? Is that possible?
We don't have any list.
That's an odd one to say. I don't know. I mean, she says that they don't have a blacklist, but there seems to be evidence that says otherwise. So, I don't know.
Blacklisted words.
Okay.
We have guidelines for what we enable ads to run on. For example, like profanity. So people have asked us, look, if I have a word and I'm swearing, like, is that going to mean I'm not going to be able to serve ads on it? Just getting first into like what can you say in your video?
Yeah.
Words can be or can't be on a video is a really complicated discussion. There are some words, for example, that might be considered offensive for one group to say. So it's very subjective and it's in context, and so we always want to look at the context of what's happening in the video and never say, oh, like you could never say this word, or if you do, then the video won't be on YouTube. We want to always be looking at the context. But with ads, we have a broad range of advertisers, and some advertisers tell us, I never want my ad to appear next to anyone swear. It's their money.
And they have all the right to.
They have all the right to do that. It's their brand, it's their money. They get to choose where they want to appear. The standard advertiser, not the one who's super careful, maybe can tolerate some profanity, but not a huge amount. And so that's why we actually say if there's profanity in the thumbnail, if there's profanity in the title.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend putting profanity in your thumbnails and titles. To me, that sounds like an absolute idiotic poke the bear sort of move.
There's a lot of heavy profanity up front in the video. That can really affect your ability to monetize the video. But most advertisers understand like some profanity, especially with artistic or creative or songs. I mean, they understand that goes as part of the art.
Yeah,
but again,
that's the word.
But there'll be some advertisers that say, no, I can't do that.
Please don't advertise my Bible studies course on that Rihanna video with the boobs in it.
So we give advertisers a broad range of options. We say, oh, are you super careful? If so, there's a restricted set of videos that you're on, or a limited set, and are you more standard, or are you willing to just advertise on everything? That's basically how we do it. And even when we say everything, there's some set of content that we know just might not be appropriate for any advertiser, but that's a really, really small amount.
I think it would be interesting to give a notice to the creator, like, you can decide whatever you want to for your content. Here's a heads up. If you fall into doing these things, it could happen that certain brands don't want to put ads into your video. Because I think what the misconception is like, some creators are like, oh my god, YouTube is paying me less. No, YouTube's not paying you less. The brand that is sponsoring the content you're doing is putting less budget there.
You're both getting paid less by the advertiser. That is, the creator and YouTube is both getting a lesser payout from them, as YouTube takes
45% and the creator takes 55%.
There's a phrase in Spanish saying, bajo advertencia no hay engaño. I think if you translate it, it says, if you give a warning, there's no lies.
I don't understand the metaphor.
I appreciate you realizing it's complex, that we're dealing with advertisers on one side who are telling us what they want, and they're saying, hey, if I don't get what I want, I'm going to take my money somewhere else. And that's actually bad for all creators, right?
Then we don't...
Because then no one's making money.
Right.
Our goal is to work to make sure advertisers feel comfortable and that we're recognizing what they need on the platform.
That's super cool. Okay, next question. This one's one of my favorites. I have two favorites. This is one of my favorites.
Okay.
There was a moment, I think a year ago, that suddenly out of nowhere, a lot of videos were starting to be demonetized. There was people claiming them or XYZ. Doesn't really matter. The point is that a lot of videos got demonetized or brought down. It happened because a new set of rules were implemented into YouTube, and videos from the past that exist without those rules got punished. With this said, how are we sure of the content we're doing today is not going to be punished tomorrow?
Now, this one's interesting because with the upcoming changes to the YouTube harassment policy, where Susan herself said in the interview with Alfie Days that a lot of content on the platform will break and violate the new policies when they come in. So what happens to that content? You know, if someone has more than 3 videos, as Alfie Days said, bashing on another creator, if there are more than 3 videos of that fashion, bang, that's it. The channel of the person who uploaded those videos is gone, destroyed because of community guideline strikes. I'm quite concerned about the changes to the harassment policy and how they're going to affect creators.
We're always updating the policy, and we have to because the world is changing, and a lot of policies actually are good. When we update them, it actually will give creators more flexibility in how content is managed on the platform. We do go back in time. Gotta get back in time. And we say that if content made in the past, if that content was fine at the time, then there should be no strike.
If the content was made in the past and then policies and rules changed, then there should be no strike. That sounds fair in theory. I sincerely hope it works out that way in practice.
We make sure that there is no penalty for content that was created before any change in policy.
Rules are attached to dates then?
Yes, they are. Let's say we make an update to harassment or hate or one of those policies, and then we have a video that now becomes violative of policies that we've made. So that video would no longer be eligible to be on the platform, but no strike would be given to that creator because when they made the video, that rule didn't exist.
Content has to be out, but there is no strike to the creator.
Exactly. Updated it this year so that the first strike that any creator ever receives now is just an educational one, so that creators know, oh look, there's a strike system, and then you have the other 3.
They turned their 3-strike system into a 4-strike system, which still seems a bit antiquated. I do think that YouTube could benefit from a system similar to Twitch, where 30-day bans from putting content on the platform, or shorter bans from putting content onto the platform exist, but do not seem to exist as part of a strike system. As it stands, if a creator made 3 accidental silly mistakes with copyright in one video, then that's it. Game over. Channel deleted.
This way they just get a notification, like something, this was a problem, why, here's how you can read about YouTube rules, here are resources to learn more, and going forward, if you do this again, then it will be a strike.
Education. I do feel that this sort of thing should be drummed into creators the second that they start their YouTube channel. It should be mandatory to do specific lessons in the YouTube Creator Academy before you're even allowed to go near the YouTube video uploader, e.g. teach creators about the platform, about what is and what is not acceptable before they make their first video. That should be the way forward. not correcting them after they've done something wrong, or terminating them after they've done something wrong because they didn't know, because they didn't read the terms of service. Reading the YouTube terms of service and guidelines should be the first thing a person does upon joining the platform, not the first thing they do upon being terminated from the platform.
So we've been trying to give creators more flexibility with that.
You and I keep talking about how, there's these guidelines, the creators are understanding them better, and usually the mistakes that they commit is because they didn't know. Could there be any tool that YouTube makes to provide to creators so that they could upload their video there and understand if there's any type of copyright in it, or it's categorized as any type of content? Is that a possibility?
We do encourage creators to upload their video first unlisted. Then they can see, are they getting a yellow icon or are they getting a green icon? And they can see, oh look, I got a yellow icon. Maybe there's something in here that I should change.
It's like she thinks that he's just only querying monetization. I feel that she's missing the mark on this one. What I'm thinking along the lines of is more of a tool that can work out if your content is going to violate policies in general, violate YouTube rules in general, content that might get you a strike. If there's a testing tool to check if something doesn't go against YouTube community guideline policies, or lets you know if your content is brushing up against it, because YouTube announced that it's going to punish content that almost breaks the rules but doesn't break the rules, which sounds absolutely bonkers. Surely something either breaks the rules or it doesn't. It's a black or a white. It's yes or a no. It shouldn't be a, oh well, it almost broke the rules. I mean, if I leave my house, I could almost fall down a flight of stairs every time I go down a flight of stairs. It's not as, there's not as many shades of grey as that.
When we do the self-certification, we give feedback to the creators, and that helps them have a better understanding of where we may have had an issue from a policy perspective.
Okie dokie, no problemo. A lot of videos have been getting claimed from different record labels, which of course they have all the right to. It is their product, and that song does belong to them. Have you ever thought that as creators, we do want to use copyrighted music and we're willing to share a piece of the pie? Meaning, if the video is 10 minutes long and we use an entire song for 1 minute, then 10% of the earnings of that video goes to the record label or to the artist, and 90% to the creator. And this outcome is the best for the creator and the artist. And I know that's completely subjective on if the artist wants to or not, but I think starting a program, artists that are willing to do it, and knowing the artists that you can use their song to them their copyright and they're going to get revenue, I think it would be a massive breakthrough in the platform.
This is an interesting idea that he has. If the YouTube audio library could include some major artists and select material, and the use of this material would be eligible for a form of revenue sharing with the record labels and the creator and YouTube, so everyone would get essentially 33%.
I agree with you. There's a lot more we can do between creators and artists. YouTube we have a lot of creators, we also have a lot of artists. So I agree with the general idea that there's a lot of ways that we could have those two groups work together more. And so that's definitely on my mind and something we're thinking about. But let me tell you what we have today. Okay. So I think directionally I agree with you. But what we have today is, first of all, we had an issue where a lot of creators were getting manual claims for short amounts of incidental music. And so we worked with the record companies and the music companies, and what we did is we made a change. So first of all, we made it so that if you're going to claim music, you have to put the timestamp in so that creators know where that timestamp is.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing we did. And then we also made sure that we have editing tools to make it easy to remove it and to swap in music from our music library. So we enabled that to happen.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so that was the first change. But then the second change that we made is we also made it so that the artists and music rights rights holders can't claim really short incidental music. They could block the video, but they can't necessarily claim it for monetization. And again, it has to be short and incidental, but it changed the ecosystem. We want to make sure that when there's short incidental music, there's an opportunity for creators to keep their revenue. So those are all things that we've done to try to be responsive. We do have another way that we do share music right now. So if a creator does a cover of a song, they actually can get 20% of the revenue. We see that we have artists and we have creators, and we'd love to find a way for them to work together more in the future.
I think it's exciting, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think it opened the door for a complete new business. Like, I think it's about artists coming up, creators partnering with even artists to do things together. I really think if that happens, it's like a new book.
Indeed, it would be pretty cool to be able to, as a YouTuber, be allowed to use certain music and essentially promote the music in some way, shape or form, and have your YouTube channel used as a sales front to help the artist sell their song by, say, iTunes links or something like that. Google Store link to sell the MP3 file of the song.
I agree with you. You're very convincing. If I have any issues with our music deals, I'm going to bring you along.
Yes! Come on, record labels. We want to use your music. We want to grow your artists. We want to grow ourselves too, you know?
I'm glad you were thinking about it.
Other questions are, when a brand name is attached to the title, does this make it limited in any way? Limiting the reach anyway, or exposure, or... No.
So videos don't get suppressed if they have company names in their titles or their thumbnails then?
Moving on. There's a lot of new creators now.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful. It's like a movement now. Now being a creator is same path as being an architect. You know, in the past it was like, what are these kids doing? Now it's almost like established, which is cool to see how it's evolved. For new creators and old creators, is the exposure the same? Are the opportunities the same? Or is the platform getting oversaturated?
We love all creators. And you're right, like we do have new creators, and we have creators that have been on the platform for as long as YouTube's been around. Our goal is to make all different types of creators successful. The only difference really is that if we have someone who starts today versus say you, like we just know a lot less about the creator who started today. And so we don't necessarily know who to recommend them to. We don't necessarily know what kind of videos they produce. So it's harder for us to figure out and connect them with an audience. So for example, someone like you who has millions of followers, we can guess like, oh, these are the types of people that would want to see the video. So we build better prediction models as a result because we know a lot more information about you. There's a history. We know about you, we know about your followers, your viewers, and so that gives us the ability to better predict who to recommend your videos to.
I guess this is where when you create a new video as a new channel, you want to put as much information as possible into your tags and descriptions because YouTube knows nothing about you or your video, whereas a video that has no tags, no description, and a rubbish title that has 1 million views has the analytical information from the views and who the views came from, and the algorithm was able to detect an audience behind the massive video that didn't have much information put into it in the first place. Over time, it gathered a form of footprint on YouTube as a platform.
We were talking about profanity, sex, violence, content, music videos, and movie trailers that include those type of content, yet they do get the trending page. I'm unaware if they monetize. What's the difference of them doing it there versus creators using it on their own context?
So I think what we see is that sometimes with a music video or with a trailer that there will be artistic license taken where they're simulated violence or something that's more graphic, and that song becomes a well-known part of culture because everybody's talking about it, everybody has watched it. For that reason, we'll put it on the trending page because it is becoming a part of culture. People have seen it and it is part of what we have on the platform, and it's been in a sense like already accepted as part of the culture. Whereas if you take a video and people are doing a bunch of violence, like filming it in their backyard, people could look at that and it's not necessarily part of culture. it just looks like a violent video. It's on our trending page. There's a misunderstanding of why is that video here? Why is YouTube endorsing that? And so, I understand we want to do the right thing for creators. We've actually gotten a lot of feedback on trending, and we have committed and we are tracking it, and we're making sure that the content on trending is representative of all creators who grew up on the YouTube platform. We look at YouTube, and about half of YouTube are creators who are YouTubers, like pure YouTubers who have grown up, started on YouTube. So we might want to make sure that at least 50% of the views on trending come from creators who have started and grown up on YouTube.
Though, God, half of trending will be YouTubers and the other half will be Jimmy Kimmel and Will Smith, Men in Black Part 50.
Trending itself is a small part of our views. What it is then it's seen by press, or it's seen by people who may not necessarily know that much about YouTube.
It's the top sheet. It's the front page of the newspaper. It's the contents page.
So we have to be careful about what we put on there. Like, we all care about YouTube and making sure that it's attractive to advertisers and that we're doing the right thing for the platform as a whole. And so our goal is to show all the great creators we have. But if there's going to be something that involves violence, that could be problematic for the platform as a whole if we put it on there
100%.
And it looks like we're endorsing it.
100%. And I think as a creator, it's important that I share that when you know that you're on trending page, it does motivate. It does make you feel like,
it's nice. People will get excited. People will get excited.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
It just seems like something that would trigger creators, at least me personally, to be like, that's very cool, and it was almost like a healthy competition. I would like to close this video saying, first off, thank you for doing this. This is freaking cool. This is super awesome.
Thank you.
I still can't believe I have a tiny apartment here. Thank you for everyone.
I couldn't go to your apartment, so we brought your apartment here.
Yes, they created his apartment in the Los Angeles YouTube space.
Hashtag YouTube, that's what it is. Like 6 people or even more behind these cameras, so thank you to everybody. And I want to let you know that you're doing a fantastic job, and you've changed many lives, including mine. I had a feeling when YouTube approached to make this interview with you and I talked to all the creators, all of these questions seem like creators are like basically saying, we don't like this, we don't like that, we want money, money, money. That's basically, in a nutshell, what I'm sensing, and I would like to steer it a different way. And I think this is people that are dedicating their entire life into one platform, and they want to be the most comfortable they can and the most clear they can. And the effort of these questions are not on how can they monetize more. It's about how can the platform and the creators understand each other better, because we're in it together. At least under my perspective, know as YouTube that I do understand the complexity of what is happening. I mean, you were working on Google when it was in your house, and you were one of the first employees. And YouTube went from being a platform that wasn't even sustainable on phones, and you would watch cats doing backflips, to one of the biggest companies of the world. I know that it is a challenge. As creators, we don't see that every day. YouTube, there's probably problem solving. They're trying to figure out things. There's new brands that are trying to work with you guys, and you're trying to speak with the creators. So it's almost like you're orchestrating these 2 people.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Our goal is just to make the best possible platform. Whenever I would talk to creators, I want to actually hear about what issues they're facing. There's some things that are going well, and then there's some areas where we can be better. And what my job is to make sure that things are going better. And so that's what I'm focused on, and making sure that we have an understanding from creators on what the issues are, that we're in touch with that, and we're addressing and fixing them.
I think the main thing that I would seek as a YouTuber is just general quality of life. Just fed up with this. Every twice a year, something crazy happens, and it makes you wonder, is your channel going to get shut down because, oh, YouTube messed up and there's the COPPA thing, or they put a thing in the rules saying that commercially viable, or they pop up in the newspaper, in the Wall Street Journal, YouTube is a hate platform because once upon a time PewDiePie blah blah blah. This lunacy, this insanity needs to stop happening all the time.
I'm always so impressed with creators who are so funny, and they have so much knowledge and are there in front of the camera and connecting with their fans. We have a lot of respect always for the hard work that creators are doing, and just want to make your lives easier.
Easier and more stress-free and more hassle-free life, please. Thank you, Susan.
And make sure that you're getting the most views, that you're generating the most revenue, is doing the best job we can for creators to be able to have the best opportunities on YouTube, to reach a lot of users, and also generate the most amount of revenue. I really enjoyed being here today. Yeah, and thank you for being a YouTube creator.
Thank you, and Susan? Anyways, we were talking about something. We were saying goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a lovely, lovely chat.
Well, I have a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
I use it to talk to creators.
Lol. Sneaky self-promotion from the CEO. However, in all seriousness, she does have a channel where she publishes her quarterly letters to creators. She uploaded one recently.
Okay. Go check it out. It's gonna be linked in the description. Alright, thank you, Susan. This has been such a great experience. It's been really beautiful being in the space and enjoying time with the people here. It's such a nice vibe and such a nice ceremony.
Juanpa, ¿qué pasó? ¿Dónde estás?
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Susan Wojcicki being interviewed by Juanpa Zurita, and my reaction and commentary on said interview. If you enjoyed this, feel free to hit the like button, and if you want to see more, you can subscribe, and YouTube might inform you of future uploads of mine. Anyway, I have been StooDogg, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.